Giorgio Marincola, the Somali-Italian hero. In any story, if it's a good story, there is that which is seen, and that which is hidden. Rome's City Council voted earlier this month to name a future metro station in the Italian capital in honor of Giorgio Marincola, an Italian-Somali who was a member of the Italian resistance. Born in Mahadai Wayne district to an Italian nobleman and a Somali woman, Giorgio Marincola was an exceptional fighter against fascism, helped usher the first organized militancy against the fascist rule of Benito Mussolini in Italy. When captured by the Nazis, brought on national radio to denounce his comrades, he famously refused, as a result tortured in Nazi captivity. Following his escape from prison, he rejoined his militants, was in fact the last Italian to die at the hands of the Nazis. As a result of his bravery and campaign against the fascist regime, he has been awarded Italy's highest military medal. Giorgio Marincola, 1923–1945, Gold Medal of Republic of Italy, was the son of an Italian military and a Somali woman. His dad recognized both children, Giorgio and Isabella, bringing them to Italy, where he married an Italian woman. Having two more children, Giorgio started schools in Calabria, but soon his dad called him to Rome, given Giorgio's excellent school results. In Rome, Giorgio studied with Pilo Albertelli, an anti-fascist professor later murdered in the Fosse Ardeatine massacre. In 1943, Giorgio joined a group of partisans, and in June 1944 joined the Special Operations Executive, being sent first to southern Italy for training, and then to northern Italy. Here Giorgio Marincola got to know Edgardo Sogno, a monarchist and anti-communist partisan, who in his memoirs defined Giorgio simply as the mulatto. Giorgio Marincola was killed by Nazis on May 4, 1945, together with other 25 people, both partisans and civilians, in Trento province. The Black Partisan activists first placed a banner at the metro site stating that no station should be named after oppression, and pushed for Marincola's short, but remarkable life to be remembered. He is known as the Partigiano Nero, or Black Partisan, and was an active member of the resistance. In 1953 he was posthumously awarded Italy's highest military honor, the Medaglia d'Oro al Valor Militare, in recognition of his efforts and the ultimate sacrifice he made. Marincola was born in 1923 in Mahadai, a town on the Shabelle River, north of Mogadishu, in what was then known as Italian Somaliland. His mother, Ashkiro Hassan, was Somali and his father an Italian military officer called Giuseppe Marincola. At the time few Italian colonists acknowledged children born of their unions with Somali women, but Giuseppe Marincola bucked the trend and later brought his son and daughter, Isabella, to Italy to be raised by his family. Isabella went on to become an actress, notably appearing in Riso, Amaro, Bitter Rice. Released in 1949. Giorgio Marincola too was gifted, excelling at school in Rome and went on to enroll as a medical student. During his studies he came to be inspired by anti-fascist ideology. He decided to enlist in the resistance in 1943, at a time his country of birth Somalia was still under Italian rule. He proved a brave fighter, was parachuted into enemy territory and was wounded. At one time he was captured by the SS, who wanted him to speak against the partisans on their radio station. On air he reportedly defied them, saying, homeland means freedom and justice for the peoples of the world. This is why I fight the oppressors. The broadcast was interrupted, and sounds of a beating could be heard. The name change came after a campaign was launched in June 2020, in the wake of Black Lives Matter protests around the world following the killing of African-American George Floyd by U.S. police. The station, which is currently under construction, was going to be called Amba Aratamaponio, a reference to an Italian campaign in Ethiopia in 1936 when fascist forces brutally unleashed chemical weapons and committed war crimes at the infamous Battle of Amba Aradan, started by journalist Massimiliano Caccia. He was supported by Black Lives Matter activists, other journalists and Italian-Somali writer Giorgio Marincola and Marincola's nephew, the author Giorgio Marincola. Collective amnesia. The anti-racism activists want far more than just the renaming of a metro stop after Marincola. They want to shine the spotlight on Italy's colonial history. They want the authorities in Rome to go further and begin a process of decolonizing the city, Italy's colonial timeline in East Africa. In 1890, Kingdom of Italy takes over Eritrea and proclaims it a colony. In 1895, Italy invades Ethiopia, then called Abyssinia. In 1896, Italian forces defeated by the Ethiopians at Adwa, and sign a treaty recognizing the country's independence. In 1889, Italy sets up a protectorate in central Somalia. In 1935, Fascist Italy invades Ethiopia, accused of war crimes and using chemical weapons during its campaign. In 1936, Italians capture Addis Ababa. Ethiopia, Eritrea and Italian Somaliland become Italian East Africa. In 1937, Italian forces in Addis Ababa kill an estimated 19,000 people over 3 days in February in reprisal for the attempted assassination of the man appointed by Mussolini to govern the colony. In 1941, British and Commonwealth troops aided by the local resistance defeat the Italians in the region. The Life of Marincola. It combines the history of colonialism, the flagship of fascism and the resistance, founding republican ideal of the nation rose from the ashes of the regime. A crossroads of fate that make us think even more about what was inconclusive from the ideological point of view, not as however in practice, the racial politics of fascism. The fact is that the young partisan choice could not have seemed to be forced and is related. The two authors write, it's different, crossings between identity and the other to his being at the same time. Somali and Italian, in a continuous reference to these two polarities. A complexity and versatility totally out of sympathy for the racist fascism and Nazism. Marincola was a challenge. In 1953, the Prime Minister Alcide de Gasperi Era signed the decree that assigned to Marincola the Gold Medal for military valor. However, in fact, Somalis too have also left their own imprint in Italy, not just through the Marincola siblings, but in the literature, film and sports, as Ismail Inash quoted. Reshaped by 30 years of conflict, memories of colonial times have all been lost, except in the kitchen where a staple of Somali cuisine is sugo sakar, a sauce eaten with basto or pasta, and Somalis have also left their own imprint in Italy, not just through the Marincola siblings, but in the literature, film and sports. Legends, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe the channel. You are a legend. Learn your history. See you in the next video, legends.